In 1930, producer Varric Frissell secured funding to create a feature film adventure about Newfoundland's annual seal hunt. He gathered a team of technical experts aboard the SS Viking and set off to capture this Arctic struggle with as much authenticity as possible. The resulting film, The Viking, originally known as White Thunder, was to be the first Canadian-made feature film with sound, and the world's first movie with sound shot on location. By 1931, Frissell had completed the majority of the film, but unhappy with the product, he decided to return to Newfoundland to shoot some additional footage. This unfortunate decision proved to be fatal, and what resulted was the worst disaster in cinematic history. After attending Yale, Varric Frissell followed his passion for the cinema, shooting several short films. In 1928, he got a job as a sealer and filmed a silent movie entitled The Great Arctic Seal Hunt. Frissell felt that he could better capture the people and their way of life by shooting a feature film, and secured $100,000 from Paramount Pictures to finance the production. Instead of a documentary, Paramount required the film to be shot as an epic, as was popular in the day. However, the action sequences would be filmed on location in Newfoundland to showcase the harsh Arctic environments. In order to accurately portray the hardships of seal hunting and to film action sequences on ice floes, Frissell commissioned passage aboard actual sealing ships to film scenes near the Grand Banks in Labrador. In 1930, Frissell set out to film action sequences for the film, including unforgettable shots of actors and local fishermen jumping between sheets of ice and occasionally falling through the cracks as the ocean churns beneath them. By late 1930, the primary filming was complete. However, following a screening of the film at the St. John's Nickel Theatre on March 5, 1931, Paramount declined to release the film. Frissell decided that the film needed more footage capturing the Arctic seascape, and within days the crew set out again on the sealing vessel, the SS Viking, to join its annual seal hunt. The SS Viking was a wood-hulled sealing ship. Constructed in 1881 by the Nyland shipyard in Norway, it weighed 310 tons and was equipped with 90 horsepower engines capable of carrying 276 men. They filmed icebergs, ice floes, and gruesome footage of seal hunting. Frissell, along with many of the crew and sealers, would never return from this voyage. On March 9, 1931, the SS Viking left port carrying the film crew plus 138 sealers and 2 stowaways. As the ship squeezed through the Narrows, it encountered a northeasterly gale which was bad and getting worse. For several days, the heavy wooden ship pounded its way up towards 𝐕𝐈𝐊𝐿𝐍𝐆, but by March 13th, the ship became trapped in the ice near Horse Islands off the coast of Newfoundland. After 2 days of manually trying to free themselves, the sealers decided to use explosives to break the immovable ice that surrounded the ship, and they set out making preparations. As was typical of Arctic-going vessels, the Viking carried crates of dynamite in the ship's powder room, sometimes using it to break free from bad ice conditions. But the film crew had also brought their own crates of dynamite, which would be used to film shots of ice blowing up to add some action to the movie. Frissell was apparently aware of the danger and was seen to be writing out notices to post as a warning regarding the explosives on board. If we're not careful, Frissell explained, the boys coming down the companionway carrying lighted cigarettes might cause an explosion. You know we have plenty of explosives on board. At 9 p.m., Frissell's fears became a reality. One of the charges was accidentally ignited in the powder room, causing all 25 crates of dynamite to explode, one after the other. The explosions tore apart the entire rear part of the ship, instantly killing several men, including Frissell and his cinematographer. His body was never found, either because it was completely disintegrated by the detonation or because it ended up sinking into the ocean, deep below the thick layer of ice. The wooden vessel then caught fire, causing the remaining survivors to jump from the sinking ship, leaving them stranded, fending for their lives on the Arctic ice floes. Many of the survivors trekked over the ice to Horse Island 8 miles away. Those that were unable to move were left to wait for a rescue ship, like the SS Sagona, which began to scour the area for survivors. In total, the accident claimed 28 lives. A later government commission was unable to determine a definitive cause for the sinking, other than that the explosives magazine had exploded. Despite the fatal accident, the picture was released in June 1931 and retitled From White Thunder to the Viking. They also added an introduction from Sir Wilfrid Grenfell, the man who inspired Frissell to capture Labrador on film.
After previewing it, I can vouch for its authenticity. I'm proud to see the lives of my friends thus depicted in this dramatic and authentic manner. We must humbly bow our heads to the inscrutable will of Providence which took Varric Frissell and his companions from us.
The movie was celebrated for being the first movie ever to feature sound and dialogue recorded on location, and contained stunning imagery of the icy landscapes, but overall was generally panned by critics who found the dialogue and storyline to be sketchy. But after its release, the film, like its namesake, slipped into oblivion. For many years, it was believed that all reels of the Viking were lost, until in the 1960s, a copy was discovered in an old St. John's fish cannery. The film was carefully restored and added to Canada's public archives, which is meant to capture old films of significant Canadian interest. And more recently, the film has been digitized and uploaded to YouTube in its entirety. And if you're interested, you can view the movie, which offers a chilling glimpse at the film that stands as causing the greatest loss of life in cinematic history.